Hey, all you extended weekend warriors, I'm Gus Davis.
And I'm Peter Bois.
And we are here to make your Mondays a spectacular 3-day weekend.
Hell yeah.
Oh, plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a weekend it is. It is time for Monday Club. I am your host, Gus Davis. Along with me, as always, is Mr. Peter Bois. Hey, we have an amazing show for you guys today. We are going to be talking about a fight at a magic convention that ends in the only way a fight at a magic convention can end. We've also got one of our dreams that we need your help to come true. We need your help to make an awesome poker night happen for us. Also, we want to talk about how to deal with asshole clients. We talk about the news, then make up the news, and of course, this week's Teachable moment. You guys stick around. It's going to be an awesome Monday.
Happy Magnificent Monday!
Happy Magnificent Monday. Cheers! Woo! What's up, man?
Not much, man. How are you doing on Monday? Monday
my
Club.
God. It's time. It's the time. It's that time. Dude, I'm doing actually so much better. I think I told you last week that my back had been like just totally killing me for the last 3 weeks. Yesterday, it finally started feeling better. So, I count that as a win. I count that as a win. It's like it healed just in time for Monday Club.
Perfect. But
So, that means scientifically, that means that Monday Club has healing powers.
proven healing powers.
Yep.
So we will come
I've
to
looked
you.
at the graph.
You can praise Monday Club's joyous name, and we will make you fall over with the power of Monday.
Do you think that means we can get some tax benefits from Monday Club?
We are a non-profit. Actually, we're like a negative non-profit, I think.
We're like a non-profit in the holy sense of a non-profit.
A non-profit in the holy hole.
Anyway, man, it is good to see you.
You too, man.
Happy Monday to you, sir.
Happy Monday to you. Today, this Monday Club's episode 50 Cheers of the Week goes to cheers to a magician thief using magician methods to steal magician stuff at a magician conference full of magicians.
Okay, so you found this one, and I got to say, I was skeptical before I watched it, and when I watched it the entire time, I had just like a kid in a candy shop grin on my face. You want to set this up?
Yes. So this is at a world-famous Blackpool Magic Convention in England, Blackpool, England. And so if you've never been to a magic convention before, which...
Good job.
Yeah. You're way cooler than us. Magicians from all over the world come together for a day, 2 days, a week, whatever, few days, and you see shows, you go to lectures, and then they have a dealer's room where magic dealers, it's like your local neighborhood drug dealer, they have their collection of wares, magic tricks, books, anything you could think about, new things on the market, set out on tables, and they're demonstrating these cool new magic tricks and gadgets and stuff, and hopefully they will sell and make a lot of money from all the magicians there. And so this happened at a dealer, in the dealer's room at the Blackpool Magic Convention. There's this guy who is looking over this table, and in the video, the guy whose table it is narrating for us what's going through his head, which is awesome.
Right, and you see he has 2 cameras set up to try to make sure that he can watch all of his stuff that's just laid out on this table. And he pauses the video and circles things and puts arrows so you can see exactly what's happening, and just calls it play-by-play, which is pretty great.
Yeah, and there's this guy perusing his sellables, and he picks up a thing that he might like to purchase, and he shakes it. He kind of looks around and he shoves it into his coat. And then
now he does shove it into his coat, but let me be clear, Monday Club. What he actually picks up is a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
which is important because it's a scrambled Rubik's Cube that he picks up, and he does like a quick magician move where he just tosses it into his coat, into an inner lining coat pocket.
Which is a magician method to make things disappear.
Disappear,
yeah.
Right.
And then he picks up something else and puts it into his jacket. And this guy whose table it is has been watching him the entire time. He jumps the table. He sees this happen, and he freaking jumps on this dude and starts pounding him, punching him to the ground, and he's just going crazy on him. And when he's done punching, all you see is this hand come up with a Rubik's Cube, giving it back to him, solved.
And the Rubik's Cube is solved.
So the guy takes the Rubik's Cube and kicks him one more time for good measure, and that's how they handle thieves at a magic convention.
Well, listening to his play-by-play, watching the video and having the shop owner narrate for you, he jumps the table, he beats the guy's ass for stealing. It's like a cartoon. All you see is a hand come up to return the item, and it's the Rubik's Cube that's completely solved now. and he says in the recording, he's like, and then I give him one more kick for being a twat for having the balls to solve the Rubik's Cube while he's getting his ass kicked for stealing the Rubik's Cube.
That'd be a good trick. See if you can solve a Rubik's Cube while you get your ass beat.
Well, apparently this guy can do it.
That's a unique twist. Definitely worth a watch. It is a hilarious and badass video. Definitely worth watching.
It is such a... You can just see from both sides the... like what it's like to be at a magic convention, right? Like it just this guy being a dick for stealing stuff. Of course you're an asshole, but not only you're an asshole, you're the kind of asshole who can't stand for a Rubik's Cube not to be solved. So you solve it before you return it.
And I have to say, his top it technique was pretty poor. His top-hitting technique. That's the act of throwing something into your jacket to make it disappear.
Right.
We're giving away magic secrets here.
It was pretty poor, but I will say that he gets an extra degree of difficulty point for solving the Rubik's Cube in the time it took him to top it.
True.
The merchandise.
We are raising a glass to this terrible thief for entertaining us this week on Monday Club.
There you go. Cheers. Hey, before we move on, I got to say that when I had my own magic company and went to magic conventions and clown conventions, it was actually always astounding how much stuff got stolen at these conventions. I mean, it's almost always just mom and pop shops that are bringing their stuff to these conventions, and I was just floored when we went through and saw the stuff that had just disappeared every single day from the shop. And you can't keep your eye on everyone, and you have to do a lot of it is just trust that when people are browsing, they're not just tossing things in. The worst thief I ever had, though, that we did catch, here was his plan. He came up, he bought a bag of like animal balloons, right? And then later on in the day, he came to return a bag of animal balloons that were something like 8 years old. What? And he was like, hey man, can I get a refund on these? And we were like, dude, like these aren't even in the same bag that the other ones were in. And he's like, oh no, I definitely got them here. And we're like, get the fuck out of here.
Oh my God. What a douche.
I know, right?
Oh, I have a stealing story too. I worked at it before we tell you what we're consuming today. I was working at a magic shop in Orlando, Florida when I lived there. I was demonstrating magic tricks in probably one of the worst areas ever. Not like crime-wise, just no one went to it. We had like 3 people a day come into the shop, and I was on complete commission. I remember I calculated it one time. I worked for like 29 cents an hour one day. It was,
oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Playing commission. But so there was this group of people that came in, and they were just really fast talking. They looked like a family, which is kind of sad. It was like a family of there's definitely like an older womanly figure, and then kind of some teenagers and younger kids. So I don't know. Maybe it was just a collection of thieves, and they come in, and it felt off because they were so like. They were pushy. They wanted me to show them so much magic. And there's a safe in the back that we keep the cash, and you can kind of see
all those shiny nickels stacked up together.
Yeah. Well, there's a few $100s in like petty cash,
All right.
And through the curtain, and they were just like, hey, they just wanted to see so many magic tricks, and I'm like, oh. And at first I'm like, oh, this is cool. They want to see a lot of stuff. And then I'm like, this is weird. What's going on here? And I did it. I was doing magic tricks. And then after I was done, they like vanished. They were like, all right, bye. And they left. And then afterwards, when I was going to count the cash, I noticed that there was no cash left in the safe. I don't know.
What?
Maybe the safe was open, or maybe it wasn't a safe. Maybe it was just a box that somehow got open, and they stole all the cash out of it. Just complete misdirection. They misdirected the magician, the master of misdirection, and completely hoodwinked me.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Luckily, they didn't hold me accountable because I was working for 29 cents an hour that day.
At first, were you just like, man, they are really interested in this Svengali deck?
Yeah. I was like, wow, this dollar bill floating is the best thing ever. They're going to buy 20 of them, and I'm going to make money today.
Oh, my God. All right. Well, I'm sorry that people are douchebags, and I'm glad that this one guy got what was coming to him, even though it was also funny that he solved the Rubik's Cube. All right, man. What are you drinking today?
I am drinking Funky Bow Brewery right down the road from me. I've had their pale ale before, but this time I went with the So Fokin Hoppy IPA. I don't normally drink IPAs. Fokin is spelled Folkin, hoppy, because they're all about like folk music, funky bow. And I don't normally drink IPAs because they're a little too bitter for me, but this is hoppiness without the super bitterness. Like, there's a difference between having a hoppy beer and something that's hoppy and bitter. I've finally come to the realization you can get like this hoppy, flowery taste without getting this super bitter taste, and I do enjoy that. So I highly recommend this IPA.
I'm impressed that you're drinking an IPA. I find 99% of IPAs to taste like tree bark tea. Just like you're licking wet tea bark is how most IPAs come across to me.
Well, I love their pale ale, and this tastes like their pale ale, just more intense. It's a more intense of a hoppy flavor, but it doesn't have that terrible bitter finish, we get with some IPAs. So it's not about, because there's like this, I feel like in the beer community there's this race to be the most bitter beer ever.
Yeah.
Because you show your mettle. You show how cool you are, the more bitter beer you drink.
Yeah, it's almost like with IPAs, I find that people who enjoy IPAs treat it like drinking coffee without any cream or sugar. It's like, oh no, like that's the way that this IPA is supposed to be.
I drink black coffee.
Yeah, but you're it's like people who are really, I don't know how to say this. It's
pretentious.
Like people who, yes, pretentious asses.
Pretentious beer asses. If it's not like a triple IPA and you want to vomit your brains out from bitterness, it's not bitter enough.
Right. It's like drinking a liquid headache. It's like it's like you want to skip the beer and go straight to the headache.
Yep.
Anyway, okay, cool. Well, you're doing better than me. I'm still on the road from the last time that you and I recorded, man. So last time I had to wuss out of having a drink because I pulled into the hotel and there was just no way to get a drink. Last night, I get to our hotel. We ended up having a couple of drinks at the bar. I came back upstairs and then realized that there was just going to be no way that I could get a drink in the morning so that you and I could record. So went back downstairs and got a shot of Jack and just took it up to my refrigerator in my hotel room and just kept it on ice. So I have a day and a half old Jack Daniels that I have poured some Diet Coke in right here. So I'm having a Jack and Coke sort of Also still kind of homeless style in a plastic cup that is 2 days old.
Nice. Well, let's double cheers to that.
All right, man. Cheers.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much for I was going to say watching Monday Club, listening to Monday Club, our Monday Club magnificent antics, and I was going to come up with another M, but thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you check us out on iTunes. Give us a little love rating up there, and tell your friends about us. We want to grow the club. The more you tell, the longer we last. So definitely spread the word about Monday Club. Share your favorite episodes. You can find us on Spotify and YouTube as well. And yeah, that's my pitch to you guys. That's my heartfelt pitch.
Hey, Pete, have you bought a free drink in a while?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. How can somebody do that?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, Gus. Well, we have conveniently attached mondayclubpodcast@gmail.com to a PayPal account. So if you have a drink you want us to try, a favorite drink of yours, just send us a little message what you want us to try, and with enough money to purchase that drink, and we will try it on air and talk about you and how much we love you.
That's true. It's true. If you want to buy our affections, they are totally up for sale.
Yes.
Hey, so, man, I want to talk to you about something that has been bothering me for the last, I would say the last year and a half specifically. But I wanted to get your advice on it, and then also see if you have any stories like it, okay?
All right, hit me.
All right, so last night I did a show. It was for a corporate client, and we knocked it out of the park. It was really, really a fun show. And afterwards, I had a guy come up to me, and he quite literally said these words. I'm using actual quotes, okay? He's like, "Oh, man, that was amazing." I was like, "Oh, thanks." He's like, "Man, you should totally do that for a living, man. Like that was really good."
Sorry, I'm laughing.
and I didn't know what to say. I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I sort of
do.
Have you ever had anyone ask you something like that, or been confronted with something? Because that's happened to me before, where people are like, "Man, that was really good." What's your actual job?
Oh yeah, man, that happens. That used to happen a lot more. I still get it. Definitely get it occasionally. A lot for me. It's, "Man, you're so good. You should be on AGT," or "Man, so good. You're so good. Have you seen David Blaine? He's amazing." And I'm like,
yeah.
Or stupid comparisons. And you're, and I know they mean well, but are you doing it for a living? Or a lot of times, instead of "you should do this for a living," I get, "Can you actually do this for a living?" Or "Is this all you do?" That's the one I get all the time. Is this all you do?
So you've hit on a couple of really important things. Is this all you do? It's like you have to take what they're saying, not the words that they're saying, but the spirit of what they're saying. Because you could totally go Goodfellas on them, right? Like you could totally go and be like, "Is this all I do? Like I'm a homeless clown here to dance for you? Is that what you're saying?"
Yeah.
Like, whoa, no, that's not what I mean. And then the other thing that you said was you get like, "Oh man, like that was so great. Have you ever seen David Blaine? That guy's awesome." So for me, my comparison on that is I get Steve Harvey all the time. Like I walk on stage and people go, "Oh, it's Steve."
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, "Nope."
He does host a game
totally
show.
Not Steve. He does.
And he is
host
bald.
a game show. So I mean, I guess there's that, and it's the same thing. It's like I know that they mean well. What they're trying to say is that they had a really good time. I just wish they would say, "Hey, we're having a really good time," instead of being like, "Hey, we would be having." What they're actually saying, what's coming across is, "Hey, we would be having a really good time if you were somebody else."
Or like the underhanded compliment where they say, "Man, that was so cool. I must be so stupid. You fooled me so bad." And I'm like, "No, I fool really smart people all the time."
Right. You were actually doing pretty well until that comment.
Yeah, like you don't have to be stupid to like my show. Come on. I mean, that's the reason why I can fool you.
Right.
Which is always funny because I'm like, oh man. They just don't get it. They're like, I'm an idiot. You fooled me. And I'm like, really? If I didn't fool you, I wasted my entire freaking life, all right?
Right.
I spent my entire life trying to fool you for 10 moments on stage, and you're stupid because I accomplished that goal.
Yeah, I wish that there was a way that I could say, Monday Club, write in. Let us know. Because if you can think of a way that we can handle those questions better than staring at them blankly or like what I hate is when people say like, oh man, that was so good, like you're like some kind of Steve Harvey, and it's like I genuinely, this is not a joke or a bit, like I genuinely don't know how to respond to that. Like, yeah. Or like I hate saying thank you because that's not what I mean, and I hate saying like, I mean.
Or
sure,
yeah. Or how about this? Oh my God, Peter, you're amazing. Why aren't you famous?
I've gotten that one too.
Why are you
I've
famous?
Definitely got that.
Like, well, if more people would subscribe to my YouTube channel, I could be famous. Right?
I got that. I think I told this story already, but I got that. I was at a New Year's Day party, and a guy came up to me. He's like, "Oh man, I've been keeping up with you on Facebook, on Instagram, and all that stuff. The stuff you're doing is amazing." And I was like, "Oh, dude, thanks. That's really nice." And he's like, "Yeah, dude, why aren't you on Netflix?"
Yep.
And I was like, what? He's like, I mean, Netflix is just dying for content. I mean, they'll take anybody. It just does, and like, he just kept going on, and the further and further he got, the more it was like, what are you trying to accomplish here?
You're hurting my ego with every
right now. You're hurting
every
my
syllable. I handle those just by answering completely 100% truthful. Have you ever been in AGT? No. And I just leave it at that. Have you seen David Blaine? Yes. I leave it at that. Why aren't you famous? I don't know. I think I'm the greatest thing ever. I mean, I don't know why more people haven't gotten on to that. I must be so stupid you fooled me so bad. Yes, you are. I'm just going to agree with you.
That's correct. Yeah. You should probably, find a way that you can deal with that on your own. All right, man. Well, moving on. Anyway, I've had an idea for a really long time that I want everyone's help with, and here it is. So I want to get a group of magicians together and set up cameras all over the place. It kind of like have you ever seen the World Poker Tour?
Oh yeah, I played tons of poker back in the day.
Oh, I did too. I love was that Texas Hold'em, and especially on a computer or on your phone, you can feel like you're doing really well at it, and then you play in real life, and it becomes real money, and all of a sudden now it's more scary.
Did I ever tell you the time I won $2,000 on a casino boat cruise playing poker?
No.
Oh, all right. This is a little tangent for a moment before we go on with your wish list here.
Right.
When I lived in Orlando, we used to go on the casino boats because they go 3 or 4 miles out into the ocean. They're international oceans, and you can gamble even if it's not legal in Florida.
Right.
And so my buddy was Hugh. Well, we used to play like once or twice a week at my apartment. We used to have these big games. We had to set up 2 tables most nights because we had like 20 people, up to 20 people playing poker, like $20 buy-in, no limit hold'em, and we'd have a few $1,000s rolling around that. We had the kegerator in the corner. We did it upright, and
that's awesome.
And so, but we used to go on these casino boats, and my buddy was amazing at baccarat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time he came into work, he would just show me the $1,000 he won or $2,000 than he won the night before by playing baccarat on the casino boat.
Wow.
And so I said, well, I'll go and play poker. So I went with him, and I entered the poker tournament there. And I had the most amazing games of poker I've ever played in my life. Oh my God. I was on fire. I was good. I'm a good poker player, but like things were also, obviously, you need luck. It's not all skill. Right. Things were falling my way, and I ended up on the final table. And I went heads up with the final guy and kind of put him into a corner. I was setting him up by folding, and I was just setting up this pattern so he would get used to my pattern. And then I changed the pattern up at the right time and with the right cards, and he fell into my trap, and I won. I won first place on this casino boat, and I won.
Dude, wait! Cheers to you right here.
Thanks, man. Thanks. And I won. I think it was like $2,200, and then it's customary to tip out like 10%. So I gave like $200 to the dealers, but I didn't know that. So after I see everybody tipping out the dealers after they get their chip winnings, and I'm like, I don't know what's the appropriate amount to tip. I didn't figure out in my head the percentage wise, so I just gave him $100. And then afterwards, one of the guys comes up to me. He's like, it's customary to tip 10%. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And so I gave that guy a $100 chip, and I said, can you give this to him? I don't know if he ever did, but I felt so bad.
You should have just been like, well, it's also customary for me to take my money and run. So
yeah.
Sorry, guys.
It was really funny because my buddy came up from the baccarat tables, and he saw me sitting in the first position, and his eyes got wide. And so after we cash out, and so he won like $2,000 from the baccarat tables, and we cash out in $100 bills, and we're like thinking to ourselves, everybody on the ship knows we won a lot of money. We better hurry up to our cars and get the hell out of here as fast as we can. So we go into the bathroom, and we like hide money around on our bodies, right? We take rolls of $100 bills and stuff them in our shoes and socks and underwear and stuff. So
oh my God, that's hilarious.
We don't have it in plain sight. And we're just so paranoid for some reason that we're going to get robbed coming off of this casino boat. And we get off the casino boat, we run to the car, we get in the car, and then we like drive around, we make sure we're not being tailed. We pull into a 7-Eleven, and we take out all of our money and start tossing it up in the air in the car. And there's hundreds of dollars in cash flying around the car inside, and we're just celebrating. And that was pretty freaking funny and awesome.
My God.
And fun.
Oh my God! So basically, you're telling me that you came out of a boat from international waters with hundreds of dollars of bills just taped all across your body and hidden all over the place, got in a car and tried to shake any imaginary tails that followed you, and then went to the parking lot of a 7-Eleven to throw thousands of dollars around. Is that what you're saying?
That is exactly what I'm saying.
Oh my God, that's the greatest story ever. Well done, sir. Well, look, I want to recreate that experience. Okay.
Now what do you want to do with some poker?
Here's what I want to do. I want to have an open invitation to magicians out there. Set up cameras, World Poker Tour style, around a round table, around a card table. Either have an actual dealer or have just take turns with all the magicians dealing. And the rules are very simple. We'll play Texas Hold'em, and the rules are that you have to ante every round, and you can cheat in any way that you want to. Any magical way that you can think of to cheat at cards, you're welcome to cheat, as long as you don't get caught. So hopefully all the individual cameras that are out there will show in replays for anyone who's interested in watching all of the fun ways that people are deciding to cheat, but that everybody else will be watching what's happening and hopefully not see all of the crazy stuff that people are doing. And my real hope is that at some point in time, somebody lays down 5 aces, somebody lays down 6 aces, somebody lays down Uno cards. Like it's like I want it to get crazier and crazier as the time goes on, and have a fun time with that experience. So
I'm gonna have to brush up on my Erdnays if this is the deal.
If you want to see this happen, if you want to help make this happen, get in contact with me. We can start it off small with 3 or 4 people, and make it bigger and bigger. But let's get this thing happening, man. It's been a dream of mine for a really long time. So let's make it go down.
I am 100% in. That sounds awesome and fun. It's like Penn and Teller fool us for real stakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if they fool you, well, you just lost all your money. But if you can tell them what technique you're using and what you did, well. So what happens? When you catch them? Are they out of the game? Do they lose that hand?
They just lose that hand.
So they forfeit whatever money's in the pot.
Whatever money's that they've put into the pot, they forfeit. That's because great. They got caught. And I'm telling you that there's probably going to be times where it's worth doing that, either for the funny or for the magic trick.
You need an anti. Like, in football they have the red flag, and if you're wrong about the challenge. If you're challenging the call on the field and you're wrong, you lose a timeout. So what if the person who challenges and if they're wrong about the person cheating or what method
then they lose their ante.
Yeah, so they lose what's in the pot and lose. That's a good. Yeah. So it makes it a little more.
You got to be ready to actually challenge somebody. And there's going to be so much that happens playing this thing. There's going to be times where you know that somebody just cheated, but you also know that they know that you cheated, but you do actually have a good hand. So you're going to be like, I mean, you good? I just can't wait to shuffle the deck again, and you shuffle the deck and some of the cards are blue and some of them are red. You're like, what?
We're going to have new decks being brought in every 10 hands.
All the time. Yeah. Anyway, help us make this happen, Monday Club. Get in touch with either Pete or I, and we will set this up and make it a thing. This week in the news.
Gus, I have some amazing news for you this week.
Oh, hit me.
This is the headline of This Week in the News. 10 scientific reasons drinking beer is actually good for you.
Yeah!
Is this not the best day of your life?
It's pretty great. So these are scientific reasons, huh?
Scientific. Now, they don't... they do have their sources in here. So it's proven by science. You can't argue with these facts.
All right. Well, hit me.
Number 1, beer makes you live longer. Virginia Tech researchers found that regular moderate beer drinkers were 19% less likely to die during a given time period than people who never touch a drop.
Well, I think we all knew that beer helps you live longer.
My question
is, even if you live shorter, I think beer makes your life feel fuller.
I agree. But what is the given time period? It says die during a given time period. Is that during it's more likely to make you it's more likely to make you die probably between 16 and 25 years old. But
true.
Maybe you live longer when you're drinking 40 to 50 years old.
I don't know. I just know that science says that it makes you live longer, and I'm down with that.
Yeah, all right. Me too. Number 2, drinking beer makes you thin.
Was this from the Anheuser-Busch University?
I believe so.
Or is it saying that drinking beer makes other people look thin?
Oh, that's interesting. Like beer goggles.
Yeah. Because that is definitely science.
It says drinking Belgian beer is actually good for your gut bacteria, which can aid efficient digestion.
Yeah, I think that's just that. I'm throwing the bullshit flag on that one. I think that's saying that's basically making up a reason why it might be possible. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think that extra 1,000 calories a day is really helping you get thin.
Nope.
All right. We're 1 out of 2 on this in believability. Number 3. By the way, this is from stumbleupon.com. Number 3, beer helps to fight cancer. An ingredient in beer can help your body to fight cancer. I can't pronounce this. Xanthomol. It's found in hops. It's a flavonoid.
Yeah.
An antioxidant. Inhibits cancer-causing enzymes.
Yep, I also throw the bullshit flag on that one.
I believe this one.
Okay,
I believe.
You do you.
I believe, because I have a very hoppy beer, so I'm fighting cancer while I sip.
Well, maybe cancer is so afraid of the taste of IPAs that maybe I could believe it.
They're like, wow, this is too bitter. I'm out.
This is awful. I'm out of here. Yeah.
Number 4, beer keeps your brain sharp. Interesting. It said, from the New England Journal of Medicine found that women who had one alcoholic drink a day were less likely to find their mental faculties declining as they grew older.
I mean, without being a scientist, I can sort of I can put this one in the plausible range, because I think what happens is your brain gets so used to, like, if you drink, like, here's my science logic. If you drink alcohol and you're used to that weird gap of having to trace back your memory of what the hell happened last night. If, like, you get good at tracing back, like, hey, what the hell happened last night? Then maybe that builds pathways so that when you get older, your body's just used to being like, so what the hell happened? And then it kind of, like, that kind of gap bridge helps you not lose your mental faculties.
Gus, I love how you have your own science logic. There's like science logic that scientists use, and then there's the Gus science logic. I'll buy into your Gus science logic.
All right.
5, beer doesn't actually give you a beer belly. A study at UCL found there wasn't actually much scientific evidence behind the idea of beer giving drinkers a distinctive beer belly. It's interesting.
Yeah, how you feeling about that one?
I think the extra calories don't hurt. I mean, do hurt.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
It hurts this argument. I mean, you're drinking very small amount of nutritious with a high calorie content.
Yeah,
and
it's like
you're putting on pounds when you drink. I don't care what they say.
That's like saying milkshakes are good for you.
Yeah, I guess,
and it's because they use dairy, and dairy helps build bones. It's like, no, that's not actually science.
Yeah.
Sorry, number 6.
Yeah, calories, beer, belly.
Yeah.
6, beer stops you from getting kidney stones. Huh. People who drink a moderate amount of beer are 41% less likely to get kidney stones, according to a study published by the Clinical Journal of American Society of Nephrology.
Mm-hmm.
Nephrology?
I believe this one.
All right,
I believe this one, and here's Gus science to prove it. When you drink beer, you have to pee more, and because you have to pee more, maybe it helps flush out any of the buildup that would make kidney stones.
That's true. It definitely cleans out your liver. Your liver's working out. It's stronger than most other livers.
Yeah.
I submit
my liver has a 6-pack.
Evidence number 2. I have never had kidney stones. Have you?
No, I never have.
Yeah, there you have it.
Yeah, there you have it. Science proof. There's 2 data points.
7, beer has less calories than skimmed milk or orange juice. What? Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think it kind of depends on the beer, but I think that's probably true. I am amazed at how many calories are in juice.
Yeah. Oh,
like when I started paying attention, juice is
it's
awful.
soda. It's just basically soda.
Yeah.
Calorie wise.
Well, it's soda with all the sugar. Yeah, and I mean. So yeah, I can see that. I think it's if you're trying to be thin and your choices are drinking a liter of orange juice or a liter of beer, go for the beer.
Yeah, they say Guinness released statistics showing that its heavy dark brew is lower in calories than either OJ or skimmed milk. So I can believe it, and definitely Guinness is able to highlight that. The very good part of that. Right. Number 8. Here's one for me today, because I'm drinking a hoppy beer. Hoppy beers can protect against Alzheimer's disease.
Yeah, I think the only way to prove that is by saying that hoppy beers are so terribly tasting that it scares away the Alzheimer's.
Again, it goes back to that antioxidant xanthorholmol, a compound in hops used to flavor beer. is able to protect the brain from degenerative disorders such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's.
All right. Well, that's I'll believe that science.
Yeah, I can deal with that. Beer is full of vitamins. Number 9. Done. I like that.
So instead of giving your kid those Flintstone vitamins, you should just give your kid a Guinness and be like, "There you go, kid.
Yeah,
all the vitamins."
I'm looking on my can. I don't have a nutrition label on here, but
but trust me, it cures cancer and it's got vitamins in it. There you go.
This is the miracle elixir.
That's right.
And number 10, our final statistic of scientific reasons drinking beer is good for you. Beer makes your bones stronger. Interesting. A glass or two a day could help. Oh, there's the key word, could help make your bones stronger. It's rich in dietary silicon, a key to building bone mineral density, according to a study in the Journal of the Journal of Science of Food and Agriculture. Beer does not help you read better, that's for sure.
That's a bonus thing. That's a bonus science thing. It does make your bones denser. It'll help you not get kidney stones. It will not help you read better.
So what do you think? Plausible? Beer makes your bones stronger? I don't know.
Yeah, I think plausible. I think I've seen people do some really stupid stuff when they were on beer and not break their bones. So, I mean, that's a data point.
I think that comes from the floppy factor. You just become way more floppy when you're drunk.
The floppy factor?
Yeah.
I think you should get a nickel anytime anyone says floppy factor.
I just registered the domain name. I wonder what that is.
.com.
I wonder if it's available. Floppyfactor.com.
I don't think you should look at it.
I don't think I should look at it either. That takes us to this week we make up the news. Okay, so this is our new segment where we make up the news. What I've done is I've collected headlines from real news articles from possibly questionable publications, and I'm going to read them. And Gus has no idea what's coming or where I've got these from, and he is going to tell us what the article is about by just hearing the headline. So it is all coming from Gus's brain, so we're making this shit up, so don't go and start spreading rumors.
Or send us emails that we're wrong.
Yeah, because we know we're wrong.
We know. Yeah.
All right, so our first headline. Mother of 2 says she's had 80 affairs with married men, and she's proud.
This is a very disturbing headline because we here at the news center have discovered that if you have 80 affairs, you have more than 2 kids. That's the thing that's unbelievable about this. 80 affairs and you only have 2 kids? That's bullshit. We know. I don't know where you're hiding your other kids. What happened to your other kids? People should be pointing. People should really be investigating this. I think the first 48 should get involved because 80 affairs, 2 kids. That's not how that goes down.
Good point. Headline: 21 low-cost ways to make money from home. Gus, do you want to tell us about all 21, or do you want to highlight a few for us?
I'll highlight a couple of them. The number 6 spot on the 21 ways to make money from home is opening up a garage lemonade stand, but instead of serving lemonade, is to just serve alcohol. It's from your home. You don't actually need a liquor license. So all of these garage bars are opening up for passersby who, when people are walking by with their dog and they need a quick pick-me-up, come into their garage bar, sell them a little bit of alcohol. You know, you can mark up whatever you want to. It's from your own bar, so what do you care? That's the number 6 spot. Coming in at number 12, losing your dog and then collecting the reward for your dog is definitely another way that people are getting are making money from home. And you know, you should read the article for the rest of them.
I really want something. How can I make money? Is there anything in there of making money with air?
With air? Yeah.
Because that's low cost. I mean, that's around us. It's free. How do we make money?
Yeah.
I thought I read something with air.
Yeah. So one of the ways that you can there's actually two, but the one that I think is the best one, if you're really trying to just stay home and make money from home, you set up fans in your house. Those portable fans.
Yeah. Okay.
And you set up a webcam and design paper planes that float on the currents of all of your fans, and just you put that online and let people will pay anything online to get their mind off of actually working at work because they're jealous of you staying home doing dumb things like having a paper plane floating on fans that you've set up around your house. It's kind of like a webcam that a series that people pay for. It's super easy ideas, low cost, uses air.
I'm going to be a millionaire. Headline: Mail order magic, the rise of subscription witchcraft.
I think this is a misleading article. And I think it's important that people really understand. It's mail, not M-A-I-L, but M-A-L-E, mail order. You actually get a male magician to come to your house and teach you dark magic secrets. And this is a trend that is it's a disturbing trend in the magic world. There are so many out-of-work magicians right now that they're willing to truly sell themselves, mail order bride style on the dark web, and it's kind of sad.
So you can buy a magician husband. Is that what you're saying?
Most of them aren't into the ladies, so really you're just buying someone who can teach you a pass or a or a color change, and then they'll eat your food and drink your alcohol and leave you sad.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. I'm smarter.
Yeah. So be aware. Don't fall for that.
Headline. He did what? Jim Carrey just keeps getting weirder and weirder.
I don't see why this is a piece of news. Like, Jim Carrey was The Mask. Jim Carrey was Rubberface. The man did a lot of cocaine, just a god-awful amount of cocaine. And so in the news, when people are like, oh, Jim Carrey's getting weird, he's not getting weird. He's getting Jim Carrey. That's what you should say. When you see somebody acting crazy on the street or doing something weird, you should be like, oh, man, you're all Jim Carrey. And I think we should just we should all recognize the contribution that Jim Carrey has made to acting crazy.
Yeah. Do you know what he did that was so weird? Because was it on the street or in the gym, you said?
No, it was actually at an awards ceremony, I believe. He was on the red carpet and just started speaking in cocaine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking in cocaine. Interesting. Yep. Does that come with a cloud of puffing smoke when you start speaking in cocaine?
It comes with a lot of sniffing, and it's pretty easy to translate cocaine. But yeah, he just started speaking in cocaine.
Speaking in cocaine.
Yep.
All right, and that's it. You have all the news you need for the week from our very own Gus Davis.
Hey, it's time for Stories from the Road.
Well, I haven't been on the road. I've been at home doing things, so I don't really have many stories. Although I did tell you about my poker adventures in Florida. But have you been on the road, Gus? What's been going on with you?
I've still been on the road since the last time you and I talked. It's been, I think, 2.5 weeks now. I think I got another week and a half to go here on the road. So I think the next recording I will still be on the road. This week has been really interesting. It's been a whole lot of driving. There's been a lot of 12-hour drive days or more. But the client that I'm currently working for right now, we're here in Kentucky all week for this one client, is Dippin Dots. And it's so great. Yeah, it's so great because...
Did you get free Dippin Dots?
Dude, I worked it into the contract where I was like, hey, we would really like some Dippin' Dots, and they were like, after the show yesterday, they came up and they were like, "Hey, so y'all really want Dippin' Dots?" And we're like, "Yeah." And they said, "Great. There's a freezer upstairs. You guys go in and just tell them you're with us, and you guys go in there as often as you want and get as much Dippin' Dots as you want." And I was
God! Gus, you just won. That's amazing. Way to go.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'll take some pictures with my free Dippin' Dots and post them on our Monday Club stuff. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked to be getting as many, and I might put it to the test. Like I think I could eat a crap ton of Dippin' Dots.
You should have worked free Dipping Dots for life into the contract. I'm going to do this one show, and you guys are going to give me Dipping Dots every day forever.
That's right. That's right. And is there a key or a card or as like a secret code that I say when I'm at a grocery store and be like, "Oh no, these are free." No, I did a show for them. I'm good. So yeah, man, that's been the most exciting thing today. We're gonna probably go and get some errands done, get some computer work done, and then go and see Black Panther for the second time because that movie was amazing. Yeah, just kind of today's an off day for me, so I get to chill in Kentucky for the day, and then tomorrow I have another show for Dippin' Dots, but it's not until like 8 o'clock at night. So basically have the whole day tomorrow too to just kind of sit around. So we'll go explore and see what trouble we can get into and make some new stories for next Monday Club.
Nice, nice. You know, something we forgot to chat about real quick was the Olympics. You don't have the Olympics to watch and put yourself to sleep to every night now. They ended recently.
Yeah,
and we've both professed our I don't want to say disdain for the Olympics. That's a strong word.
Our ennui of the Olympics. Yeah.
I like that. That's a very classy way to put it. Our ennui for the Olympics. So the Olympics are closed. Let's wrap it up. Do you care still? Do you not care still is the question.
I'll tell you, no. I mean, if I never saw the Winter Olympics again, it wouldn't hurt my feelings. I will say though that the last couple of days of the Olympics, I did something that I almost never do, which is when I'm in a hotel, I never turn the TV on, but I did. I turned the TV on in my hotel room and watched some of the Olympics, and it was one of those deals where I would watch some of the Olympics and I would look at the clock and it'd be 2 o'clock in the morning and I'd be like, holy crap, I gotta go to bed. So it's starting to shift. It's shifting more into the, I don't know if I care or not, but I do find them interesting.
It's mesmerizing. It's like
watching
it is
kind of
golf
mesmerizing
on TV. Sometimes you just get so obsessed with watching that little ball flying through the air. You're like, why? This is not exciting, but I can't stop watching.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yes, you just nailed it. That feeling of it is hypnotizing, and you don't really know why, but it is kind of hypnotizing. And I think part of it is seeing the athletes who train for so long in sports that I don't care about and never get recognized, and then seeing their just total joy of, like, it was all worth it for this one moment. I think that's kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, I did find an event that I actually liked.
Which one?
I've never heard of it before. I think it's new. It is speed skating in groups. I don't know the official name, but they have everybody start off. They do a pace lap. They do one lap, and then as soon as so you all have to stay together in a group for one lap, and then the clock starts on the second lap, and you have to do 15 laps, and that seems like 2.5 miles. It seems like I don't know how actual long it is, but it seems like a long time. So it's a endurance style race, and so they're just like battling it out on the ice. It's roller derby without the punching on ice, Olympic style.
Did you see people fall?
No, I saw someone trip, and I was so disappointed they didn't fall. I'm sorry, whoever that was, but I kind of was. I was like, oh, that would have been cool. But it was actually interesting. There was strategy involved, because when you watch bobsled, you're like, I don't know if they're doing good. You know, they're 0.2 of a second behind the leader. How big of a deal is that?
Right.
But when especially in running, running around a track is a little interesting too. But when you're on skates, it makes it even more interesting. And they're going around. And there was an interesting technique that lost both times. There was one person that got out, I'd say a half lap ahead of the entire group early. And I'm like, oh, that guy's going to win. He's a half lap ahead of everybody. He's one guy or girl that's way out there, and the rest of the group is behind him. But he got out too early, gassed himself, and the rest of the group picked it up and just blew past him in like the last 2 or 3 laps. And I was surprised that his technique did not work. So
that's disheartening.
Yeah, there's an early teachable moment when you're in the speed skating rink.
Yeah, dude. So I ended up catching some of the speed skating where there were just 2 people on the ice, and I don't know how they do it, but apparently you can draft off of another human.
Oh yeah, that's the huge technique in the group thing, because there's a train of people skating along, and they're just all hunched behind each other, drafting from the leader.
Yeah, here's how out of shape I am. I'm so out of shape right now that I don't think I could hold the posture of a speed skater, like just standing still. You know, like
so
like
you're telling me is you can't bend over for more than 5 seconds.
Not like that. I mean, their knees are like all bent, and their backs are all arched, and they got one hand behind their back, and the other hand's crazy up in the air. And just the idea of just holding that position for 2.5 minutes, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Anyway, I think the Olympics this year get a hey.
Yeah.
Go team!
Go team!
Good job.
I found a shining light in the last possible day of the Olympics. So overall, I'm satisfied with the Olympics. Good job. I'll see you in 4 years.
Yep, gets a solid B from me. I'll watch you next year in 4 years. Teachable moments.
This week,
still my favorite jingle.
Me too, man. Me too. This week, my teachable moment is. Here's the thing: don't go to the Dremel aisle of Home Depot unless you're prepared to spend $75-$100 on new Dremel equipment. I was just going to Home Depot today to get a new thermostat. One of our thermostats is acting really strange, and so I go in. I'm like, man, I'm not going to buy a $150 Nest. Fancy Wi-Fi connected, internet savvy thermostat. That's too much.
You should. They're awesome.
Too much money for a thermostat. So I'm going to buy the $25 5-day 2 and weekend programmable thermostat that no one can figure out. I'm going to just get that one. But then I'm going to go to the Dremel aisle and spend another $75 on a Dremel workstation. So I sort of bought the equivalent to a Nest, but my teachable moment is not just that, but also the Dremel workstation. I haven't used it yet, but it's sitting on my workbench, and I'm super pumped. You can hold the Dremel in an upright position or down. You can use it as a drill press. You can hold the Dremel still while you sand things on it or cut things. It makes dremeling, I think it's going to make dremeling a whole lot easier. I'll report next week after I use it, but that's my teachable moment. Go to Home Depot and the Dremel workstation with money and come back with more Dremel equipment because it's addicting. Dremel equipment is addicting.
Listen, I think this week I have 3 teachable moments, okay? 2 of them are inspired by you. One of them is my own teachable moment. So here we go. Teachable number 1. You should all buy the Nest. The Nest gets my 2017 Product of the Year award. From the packaging to the presentation to the functionality to the tech support to the ease of installment to all of it, it was the best thought out product that I used last year. So if you are interested in getting a new home thermostat, I cannot recommend the Nest enough. It's truly amazing, and in my city at least, we get a rebate for using the Nest because because it's Wi-Fi connected. The city of Austin, when there is a big power surge, when lots of people are using their air conditioning, if you're not home and you set it to this setting, it will turn your AC off while you're not home, saving the city power grid, and you get a rebate for that. So yeah, everyone should get the Nest. Period.
That's funny because one of your pluses is one of the reasons why I did not get a Wi-Fi connected. I don't want some city or hacker hacking into my home and destroying my home because they turned on or off my heat.
I mean, if has that been a problem for any of your other Wi-Fi devices, like your computer or anything like that?
Gus, I'm being irrational here, not rational. This is an irrational affair.
All right, look, so that's teachable moment number 1. Teachable moment number 2, I did some DIY a few weeks ago that I didn't tell you about, and it was super easy and super, I couldn't believe how well it worked. So my headlights on my car had gotten foggy and yellowy and gross, and I went to the auto parts store. I had a blinker that was out, and I had to replace that too, but I went to the auto parts store, and they had this fancy stuff to clean your headlights with. And I bought some of that. It was like $9. And then it started raining, and on the instructions, it was like, do not use this product if it's going to get wet within the first 24 hours. And I was like, damn it, I'm only home for 24 hours. And so I looked online, and I saw a do-it-yourself-at-home version of cleaning your headlights, just using toothpaste and a cloth. I was like, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? So I tried it, and oh my God, I cannot tell you the difference. I'll post a picture of that too, because I went from just having these yellow headlights that you couldn't even see the bulb through the headlights to these crystal clear headlights. I mean, it looks like I totally replaced the bulb and the glass of my headlamp. So if you find yourself having a problem with that too, it's super easy. Just take any kind of normal toothpaste. It takes a little bit of elbow grease to kind of just rub it in and sand it in, basically, and polish it up. But it was super easy. I cleaned it off with some Windex, and it was great. So there's teachable moment number 2. And lastly, teachable moment number 3 is this. Guys, girls, Monday Clubbers alike, I challenge you all over the next 2 weeks to get yourself a brand new hobby. Like, I see so many people out there who all they worry about is going to work and coming home and doing dishes, and that's their life. And I get it, man. Life is hard. You got all kinds of pressures coming at you from every which direction. But what makes you an interesting human is when you're doing something that other people might find interesting, and especially you, when your interests are piqued, it'll make you a better person. So challenge yourself. Find a hobby that you're interested in. Woodworking, working on cars, doing home projects, learning something crazy like, I don't know, rolling your own cigars, whatever it is. Challenge yourself to learn something new and make it a hobby. So when someone asks you, hey, what you been up to? Instead of saying, oh, same old, say something crazy like, oh, I've been learning how to blow smoke rings. And that'll make you interesting. It'll make the conversation steer away from just being boring, and I think it'll make your life better. So there you go. 3 teachable moments right there.
Damn, you're getting a bargain this week on episode 50 of Monday Club. Thank you guys for being part of the club. Gus, amazing to see you as always, sir.
Happy Monday. Hey, you guys, thank you so much for listening to Monday Club. We love you. We want to see more of you. You can always find us on MondayClubPodcast.com, Facebook.com/MondayClubPodcast, Twitter @MondayClubPod, Instagram @MondayClubPodcast. Email us or PayPal us a drink, MondayClubPodcast@gmail.com. Of course, a special thank you and shout out to Mr. James Caldwell, our sound engineer, and Zach Holder for our music. You guys go out there, be safe, learn something new, and have a wonderful week. We'll see you next time on Monday Club.